Brothers, when we get into relationships, we have to evaluate the woman. It takes years to know who the woman is. A lot of them wear masks. You brothers that love these toxic relationships are going to end up in prison or either 6 feet deep. Our women, especially our black women in America, don't care about your life at all. A lot of them do not. A lot of them are crazy. You're going to hear me say that in a lot of my videos that a lot of our women are batshit crazy. They don't know how to act at all. They have poor home training at home. Very poor home training. A lot of them have never been around a man. Also, a lot of our women think they can control a man. So, I'm going to get into this court case, brothers, and I will chime in here and there on the craziness of this woman. So let's go ahead and get into this court case.
Plaintiffs Eric Gibson and his mom, Latora Mitchum, say Eric dated the defendant. And after they broke up, Latora was awoken one morning by the defendant pouring lighter fluid on her patio. Latora claims when she confronted the defendant threatened Eric's life. And then she vandalized Latora's cars. Defendant Devoncia Lewis says while dating Eric, he was physically and mentally abusive, and the police were often called due to their fighting. Devoncia claims on the day in question, both Latora and Eric assaulted her, and Eric broke her phone, so she's countersuing.
Start with you all.
Let me say this, brothers, again. I'm going to always reiterate a lot of things, and I will be repeating myself because I want y'all to understand, because I don't want any of you brothers to go I don't want any of you brothers to be either 6 feet deep or behind bars over a female. These females have no problem calling the cops on you. If they can't control you, they are going to get either the court system or the white man, aka the police, to handle you. As much as our females claim that they love black men, they will do whatever it takes to have you under control. So you brothers got to watch out. You have to stand your own two grounds. You have to have standards. When you get into a relationship, you need to let the woman know exactly what is going to happen and what should happen and what you're not going to tolerate. Let's go ahead.
Miss Devoncia came to my home while I was sleeping, and then she was pouring lighter fluid onto my patio deck.
Did you know her?
She is my son's ex-girlfriend, and he can tell you a little bit more about her. I don't know her that well.
Sir?
Yeah, we started dating in November of last year, and we pretty much broken up in March of this year. We've been talking off and on since March or whatever.
Brothers, the off and on relationship, I've already said this before. Once it is off, keep it off. I don't understand why you brothers like dealing with these crazy broads out here. Something is really wrong with you brothers. I'm not going to blame these females because they don't know how to choose a man anyway. They have no clue how to choose a man. That's why they shouldn't be choosing a man at all. You have the power to choose and not to choose, and what to deal with and not what to deal with. These women will continue to deal with agents of chaos. That's what they're drawn to, and they don't mature until they're about 50 years old. They act like children. So we got to do better out here, brothers. It's your fault.
Where you want me?
Well, I met her downtown Minneapolis. We actually was coming from a friend's house on my way home, and I saw her standing at the bus stop. We started talking, and next thing you know, we became friends. And then after that, relationship.
How did the relationship go?
It started off, I guess, good as most relationship does, but at the end it started with the trust, and we didn't have that trust there, so we just went our separate ways. But we still remain friends since then.
Ma'am, why don't you give me some background on your relationship and on you, if you like?
All right, well, I met Eric in November of last year. We started dating after about a month or so of talking. During the whole relationship, I mean, he said it was good at the beginning. It wasn't. He is actually abusive. That's why we were on and off. Physical, mental, emotional,
How often would he do that?
We would get into an altercation or a fight once or twice every 2 weeks.
A physical confrontation. Anyone call the police?
Yeah.
How many times?
I'll say about four or five times.
4 or 5. You have 4 or 5 police reports or more than one?
No.
Okay. What do you say to the physical confrontations you all were having?
Well, I wouldn't say it really was a physical abusive relationship. It was more of a incidents that keep happening where the police were called a few times, but it wasn't anything like I was beating on her or anything like that. It was more me basically, what's the word I'm looking for? Defending myself.
Self-defense?
Yes.
She would attack you physically?
I actually believe that. I do believe the brother was in self-defense. Our women, they have no problem putting their hands on a man. They don't. Why? I don't know. They're not taught anything. And I'll put money on it that she probably didn't even have her father in her life. A lot of our women love to put hands on our men. Why? I don't know. You got these women out here that's 5'2", trying to square up with a brother that's 6'5". Why do they do that? Because, and the reason for that, they don't have no home training. Again, brothers, our women are like children. Let's continue.
Physically?
Yes, and I'm not the type to put my hands on a female, so I would not punch, but I would grab, detain until I can get away or the police are coming to help.
Good. All right, and no one's been convicted of anything, domestic violence?
I actually went to jail for this incident.
You went to jail?
Yes.
You doing all this talking about you were battered and you went to jail?
Yeah.
You see that? And a lot of our sisters need to be in jail because they're physically abusive to men. A lot of them should be in jail for just being verbally abusive to men. But brothers, I ain't gonna lie to you. You need to try to get some of these females locked up. Teach them a lesson.
Yeah.
Let me hear what happened, ma'am. Woe is me, you the one went to jail. Go ahead.
So I was awakened about 9:30 in the morning on July 10th from my door alarm. My door alarm was hooked up to my house alarm. And when you attempt it too many times, it sets off the house alarm. So that awakened me. I look out my deck window and I see Day pouring lighter fluid on one of my patio chairs. I open my door and I say, hey, what's going on? She was like, I'm about to kill your son. What? And I'm like, well, what is that?
Again, you see, I keep telling y'all, I've said this before, brothers. A lot of our women don't care about life. They only care about self. They're the real narcissists. They are the real narcissists. And she had no problem trying to put somebody out, have them 6 feet deep over emotions. Our women make some of the dumbest decisions off of their emotions and their feelings. So brothers, you have to watch out for that, especially you younger brothers that are starting to date. Y'all need to watch out for these females. I'm gonna continue to say it. 99.9% of them are batshit crazy. Let's continue.
Does that have to do with my house? My son, he doesn't live here. So why are you here? You're not my friend. We have no relationship. She commenced to leave the back of my house to start walking towards the front of the house. I lock my back door. I run into the front of the house, yelling up the stairs, call 911. When I get to the front door and open it, my son's yelling, Mom, I already did. And she's still pouring lighter fluid on my front lawn, down on where my plants are. She's pouring lighter fluid all around, saying that she's going to kill my son.
Ma'am?
That's not true, Your Honor.
She's making all that up?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead.
Doesn't do me any justice. And in the midst of that, I say to her, she's ignorant. She says, oh yeah, I'm ignorant. Your son didn't tell you?
Okay. What about the car damages in the rental car? What's that about?
So I wasn't aware of that part until the police arrived. So when the police put her in the car, my son tells the police at that time that there's damage in the back. And so I'm like, well, what happened in the back? And that's when I seen that I have pictures as well, that she had busted 2 of my vehicles. I have 4 vehicles. 2 of my vehicles, she busted the windows. She damaged the sides. She also slashed all 8 tires.
You know, again, I can't. We tearing vehicles up. This is the things that I be talking about, brother, that you need to avoid. But again, a lot of you brothers like dealing with this crazy stuff. Why? And again, I don't know why y'all like dealing with crazy females. I don't know, maybe the trim must be good. But y'all crazy.
After she poured lighter fluid on my lawn and my house, I had my son waiting for the police. I had my son run down the street. You'll see, I have the pictures of that too, where I had my son run her down the street to get her away from the house because the children were in the house watching. That's what she used. She tore that off my pit, and that's what she used to bust the windows.
Sir, you explain this.
At that time, we actually were not in a relationship. We were just friends who were basically helping each other out.
So why did she do that? Friends typically don't do that to their friends.
Well, I believe the reason why it all happened is because something going on between her and her mom stemmed over to our house, and then the incident.
How? What happened with her mom to cause her to bring lighter fluid?
Brother, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. So either you was out there, I'm just going to make an assumption because this is my first time seeing this video, but I'm going to make an assumption. She must have checked your phone. She probably thought you was cheating, even though y'all claim y'all were just friends. I'll put money that's what it was.
And douse it all over your mom's house with the chance that the house will blow up and kill her. Mm-hmm. So I'm confused about that. You think it was her not getting along with her mother?
Well, no, she
tried to kill your mother.
Well, she actually told me that her and her mom was going. Okay, what does
that have to do with you and your mother?
Well, the reason why she
should get her mother.
Right.
I agree.
Your mother? What?
I believe the reason was because during the time we were together that night, I got a phone call from another female asking if I can come over later that day.
I wouldn't say that. Don't try to blame.
Thank you. It had to be another female. Come on, bro. What the hell are you talking about? You all over the damn place. I don't know if you were just scared or what, or nervous, but come on, bro. Y'all got to start being direct. The judge is being direct with you. You better be direct back.
Blame it on this woman's mother. Because you did say that you all were arguing, and probably this confrontation stuff came from one or the other suspecting the other messing around, and that's what happened that night you finally get to. What did he tell you, ma'am?
That's what he told me. He said that she just
Did he take 10 minutes to tell you like he did with me?
Yes.
Did he blame her mama earlier?
Yeah, probably.
So what did you do when all this happened?
What I did when all this happened, after the phone call ended, she asked me if I would go to her mom's house so she can get some clothes, and I told her no. And then that's when she got upset, and I was asking her, well, can we leave this area so we can go charge your phone or whatever, go do whatever, and just separate from and start our day? She proceeded to not wanting to leave where we were sleeping at that night and basically stood there. And so I was pleading with her, like, come on, let's go. We're on my mom's property. I'm finna leave. I can't really leave you here by yourself or whatnot. because this is not my property, and also she really is not.
And so what happened?
there. So we proceeded to basically just have a conversation about leaving. We got into a scuffle because I snatched her phone, but I gave it back, and I was asking her to come on. And then when I snatched the phone again, I gave it back. She proceeded to attack me.
Brother, that's just too much. Y'all brothers, y'all gotta understand. Y'all gotta do the one and done. No woman should be giving you a headache. They are supposed to compliment you, not give you a headache. Come on, brother. I'm going to assume he's a mama's boy because his mother's there with him. So that I don't know. I'm assuming his father's not around or whatever. Maybe I don't know. But this is I got a series too that I'm doing. Why fathers are important, especially to their sons. You should be acted out like this. He has a lot of feminine energy on him. But let's continue.
Attacked me, and in that attack or confrontation, I guess her phone got broke. And once her phone got broke, she took out a knife and flattened the tires of the car. And at that time, I proceeded to call the police.
Ma'am, what do you say to all this? Who has a police report? What do you say, ma'am?
That day, he got a phone call. I didn't get mad about him having a phone call or anything. I looked at my phone.
Man, stop lying. You know you got upset about the fact that he had a phone call from a girl. Most of you females do. Y'all think y'all the only one, but y'all not. Let's continue.
It had 1%. In the morning, I'm trying to get my clothes from my mom's house. I'm like, okay, can you go with me or whatever? I don't, my phone might die. I need some way to communicate with somebody. He said no. I said, okay, no, don't trip. Don't worry about it. I'll go by myself. I left the car, started walking down the alley, noticed my sandals was broke. So I'm on the north side. I'm not finna walk nowhere with no sandals on, no, none of that. It's glass on the ground, and I'm walking down the alley. I went back to the car, sat back down. I'm like, let me call a ride. I'm finna call a ride so I can go. I see you in a rush. I have nowhere to go right now. I don't have nowhere to go right now. Let me just try to get a ride. He started getting the attitude like, no, you need to come on now, woo, woo, woo. I'm like, okay, well, somebody already sat there on their way. Just give it 5-10 minutes. He gets out the car, walks to the passenger side of the car, starts pulling on my arm, yanking me out of the car. I'm like, stop touching me. You don't have to touch me like that. Just wait, be cool, He like, you gotta leave now, all this type of stuff. I'm like, I'm not gonna go nowhere until my ride comes. I don't have nowhere to go. My shoes broke.
Did you damage the property or not?
The car, yeah,
Yes,
I did.
any of it?
The car, I did.
That's it?
Yes.
All right. And that's more than one car or just one you're admitting to?
Both, I guess, but I did not.
Tires,
break the
windshield,
car.
paint, and body work. Your counterclaim is for what? How does he owe you or they?
I am suing for property damage for my phone, emotional distress, and pain and suffering for the assault as well. I was assaulted by both of them during this incident. My phone was broken before I even, popped the tires and the windows. That's what made me go crazy. It was people outside that seen what was going on.
I think you were probably being restrained. So it's not them assaulting you, it's them restraining you from the continuous damage of their property and perhaps burning down her home. However, ma'am, she denies that. That's not part of your claim. That was just the factual basis.
Yes.
However, the damages to the car and the rental car, she admits to that. She's trying to deny some small part of it.
I didn't bust the windows.
I know. You did everything else. You sliced that's what I say. You're trying to deny a little. You sliced all of the tires, the windshields, paint, and body work she needed. Your phone, he testified that it was you that broke the phone, and I believe him. I believe that you have an out of control temper.
I have pictures.
I
I
think
wouldn't
you need
break my own
counseling.
phone.
I know you have pictures of a phone you broke. Judgment for the plaintiff, your claim is dismissed. Have a good day.
I just hope that she gets some help. She really needs it. She needs some control with her anger and control with just hurting people or hurting herself.
They're liars. They all abusive. They love letting him get away with like this. So I don't know. I'm just over it. I'm ready to go.
He seems like a mama's boy anyway, but brothers, y'all gotta stop dealing with these toxic females. I don't care how good the trim is. Leave these toxic females alone. You're going to end up behind bars or 6 feet deep dealing with them. But on that note, I'm out.